Ahoy, ahoy, everyone. It is Craig back at Disney's Animal Kingdom for another Disney dining review. Before I get started, I want to remind you this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking your next vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money and you get the help of one of the amazing Dreams Unlimited Travel agents. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Now today I am eating in a place I didn't think I was going to eat at anytime soon. Hopefully, this is always like the one thing that I have in my back pocket that I'm like, hopefully I never have to come here. And if it is, it's like years in between the current visit and the last visit. And that's the case with this one. I don't remember the last time I've eaten at Pizzafari here in Disney's Animal Kingdom. And yeah, I just felt like it was the right time to actually come and do this today. And really, though, I wanted to eat at Harambe Market, but I didn't look at the hours and realize that it closed at 3:15, so that's why I got stuck at Pizzafari. But the good news about it is that I don't want pizza. Obviously, I mean, I don't want their pizza at all, or even a little bit. I won't even review it. I'm not going to be that nice with it. But I was scrolling through the menu and I did see that they had a Chicken Parmesan Sandwich on the menu that I'm like, okay, that could be interesting. I can give that a try. And, ultimately, Pizzafari is essentially the Pizza Rizzo of Disney's Animal Kingdom. And, I'm 50-50 on the Pizza Rizzo pizza. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not the best, but I really enjoyed their sandwich that they had on the menu, which was the meatball sub. And so I'm like, okay, well, clearly these pizza places can do at least one thing right. Maybe it's a sandwich. And that's ultimately why I went with this Chicken Parmesan Sandwich. So it is $10.99 and it is a piece of fried chicken that's then smothered in marinara and provolone and served on a ciabatta roll. And unfortunately, the only side that it comes with is a Caesar salad, which looks just as sad and pathetic as the ones over at Pizza Rizzo, but I will say those are prepackaged in a cup, whereas this is placed in a bowl, and actually, it looks at least like it's actually wet with dressing, better than being completely dry, but the two croutons on top are really cracking me up. Like, didn't want to break the bank on croutons apparently, so let's only stick to two, but yeah, that's the only side option. And then the even worse part of all of this is I went all around the restaurant trying to find any extra condiments, but because I guess because they only have pizza, there wasn't anything. So I was able to get silverware, but I wasn't able to find crushed red pepper. I wasn't able to find extra Parmesan, even though at this point in time, we already know that the little packets of sprinkled cheese that Disney gives out are gross anyways and sometimes make it worse. But I would have appreciated at least having the option for the crushed red peppers, because usually that makes everything a little bit better. But I'm actually impressed by the Chicken Parmesan Sandwich. Just holding it, the ciabatta is, it doesn't have any crunch really to it at all, just on the outside edges, but it's a nice soft piece of bread, and so it looks extremely fresh. It feels extremely fresh, and the chicken looks like a cheap frozen fried chicken patty. But you know what? This still has potential. If the sauce works well with it and the cheese works, then it could end up being good. So I'll go ahead and finally dig in on this. I took a couple bites right away to try to get a better idea of what I was feeling about this sandwich before I'd start talking. And it's not bad per se. I mean, there are some people who would probably sit here and say this is the grossest thing ever, but that's not me. It's truly not the worst. The bread is the standout part of this, just because of just how warm and soft it is. The bread's really nice. The chicken itself is pretty much flavorless, and it's also like, it's so close to the same texture as the bread too, that it just, I don't know. I wouldn't want a chewy piece of chicken. I wouldn't, maybe just a little bit more crunch or something with it. I'm not quite sure what, but it just like blends in. It's like, am I eating bread or am I eating chicken? I'm not quite sure. Marinara sauce is the same one. I think they use stock over at Pizza Rizzo too. So it is, it's not terrible. at all. It's actually providing most of the flavor for this sandwich, so I'm glad that I actually like it a little bit. And then the cheese, it's nice and melted completely, and I think it also adds to the overall flavor of it, but really it's the sauce doing the heavy lifting. And if I was able to add red pepper flakes on this too, well, that would be a game changer for this. So I've got, I cut mine in half, so I still have a little bit more of this to eat. So let me take a couple more bites and see how I'm feeling. As I was finishing the last little bit of my first half, I made the decision to actually pull the chicken off the bread, so that way I could just see how it was on its own. And I will say there was a little bit of seasoning to it in terms of like a salty flavor that was going with it, but it's not good. I mean, this is like Skull Cafeteria chicken sandwich in terms of the actual chicken that's being used for it, so not very good. It reminds me a lot of like how some of the cheaper chicken sandwiches were at fast food restaurants before the great revolution of all the fresher, better quality chicken sandwiches, and that's not a good thing. At the very least, it should stick up to like fast food standards, not cafeteria standards. But yeah, it's still not bad. Luckily, everything else is kind of saving it, but it's not the best. And with that, I'm gonna move on to my wet Caesar salad with 2 croutons. I don't know how I'm gonna eat them. And the hilarious part is, I thought that a third crouton fell off of the bowl, and I really was giving them a hard time for nothing, but the more I started looking at it, and then once I poked it, I realized it's a piece of sausage from the one sausage pizza that they have here. So definitely only 2 croutons. Really, really sad, but maybe this will be okay. The salad isn't nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be. The greener parts of the romaine were definitely where it's a lot thinner. Those were soggy and wet, but the towards the stem of the romaine, those were a lot. It was a lot crispier and definitely felt fresh. And the dressing, it's a cheap Caesar dressing, so nothing to write home about. But at least there was enough on the salad to actually taste it. And the one crouton I had, I already ate one of them. It was nice. I would have liked a lot more in here. But more than anything, some cheese would have helped this out a lot. Just a little bit. You have it. This is an Italian restaurant. Give it, or I shouldn't offend Italians with that. It's a place that serves pizza and chicken parm sandwiches, so at the very least throw a little cheese on it. But yeah, it's not the worst. But okay, with that, I'm gonna finish up my sandwich and my salad, and I will fill you in on how I feel when I'm all finished. I am just about to finish this sandwich, so let's wrap this up. Again, the chicken parmesan sandwich from Pizzafari, and it is a piece of chicken, marinara, fried chicken, marinara, provolone cheese on a ciabatta roll, served with a side Caesar salad. And you know what? It wasn't awful, and I'm not completely disappointed in it. But would I get this again? Absolutely not. This was a complete one and done for me, and I'm not upset that I tried it, but it didn't rise to the level. The ciabatta makes you think that maybe it's going to be a little bit better than it is, but it's not enough. I mean, as I've already said in this, you take the ciabatta out of the mixture, out of the equation, and put this on like a regular roll. This all of a sudden is a fast food chicken sandwich. This is a bad fast food chicken sandwich. A cafeteria sandwich, but the ciabatta tries to elevate it and just doesn't do enough to actually help it. And yeah, it's one of those things at Disney's Animal Kingdom. There's so many good places to eat. Flame Tree Barbecue, Satuli Canteen, Harambe Market even. It's just, the list goes on and on and on and on. So you either have to really be with a picky eater who just really wants to have pizza, or they truly don't want anything else. Everything else is way too busy to get to. Like, there has to be so many circumstances to drive you to Pizzafari. And if you end up here, I don't think this is a terrible choice, but ultimately, if you know what you're missing at the other restaurants around the park, you're going to be upset with it. So, you know, try it if you're stuck eating here because someone in your party really wants to eat here. But I would say let them eat here, and then you go and eat after. That's probably the best method. But if you're stuck here, try the chicken sandwich. Why not? But that's going to do it for this Disney dining review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave comments, questions, and video suggestions in the comment section below. And if you want to support us even more, you can always book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. But that's going to do it for me from Disney's Animal Kingdom in the incredible Pizzafari. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you real soon again for another Disney dining review. Take care. Bye-bye.